What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade basketball analysis coming to you with the video. Today we are going to talk about Gordon Hayward in the Boston Celtics. He had a terrible broken ankle, scary fall, career-changing injury. Either he's going to come back and be a certain type of player, or he can come back, work hard, and become close to what he used to be, but he would never really be the same. But we're going to talk about, can the Boston Celtics literally still finish as one of the top 4 seeds in the East? Can they win enough games to be a contender in the East? And how good can they be without Gordon Hayward? Obviously, they was going against Cleveland. They was getting blew out by 18 points. They was able to fight, scratch, make big plays. They was able to make great defensive plays to get themselves back in the game. Not only did they get themselves back in the game, but they also took the lead even in the fourth quarter. I think they was up by 3 or 4 points. And I'm looking like, oh, Boston, they still got it. They went from being just disappointing to now they competing with the Cavaliers. But certain players are going to have to step up more, since Gordon Hayward is a 20-point-plus scorer. He's a guy that can space out the floor, hit the threes. He's another playmaker and ball handler. They lost a whole lot when they lost Gordon Hayward. He was the guy that they paid the money. He was a big free agent signing. He was the guy that they missed out on Paul George. They missed out on Jimmy Butler, but they was happy to get Gordon Hayward. And now you probably might lose him for the whole season. And it really can hurt Kyrie, because Kyrie, he wanted to go to Boston to prove that he can play, they can lead a team, that he can make the playoffs. But now he lost his second best player. That's tough, because, you know, now he has to score even more points. Not only do Kyrie has to score more points, now he has to get more people involved. I understand that he had 20 and 10, and even in the preseason, he was able to get 10 assists because of the offense, because of the floor spacing, because of the transition, and his teammates being able to shoot the ball and be able to handle it a little bit depending on who it is, like Marcus Smart, like Terry Rozier, like Jason Tatum, like Jaylen Brown. They can handle the ball a little bit, get to the paint and finish, and they solid shooters besides Jaylen Brown. So with that being said, Kyrie is going to have to continue to step up. He's going to have to get around 30, like Isaiah Thomas, around 30 points for this team to really contend, because Al Horford, he's a great passer, he's a solid rebounder, but he's not a dominant scorer. He's not a guy you need to double team. He's not a guy that's going to cause a lot of havoc, especially offensively when it comes to scoring. So Kyrie, he has to find a way to dominate games while still keeping his teammates involved and feeling like they can make a contribution, because I know that Kyrie can go for 50 because he did it multiple times. I know that Kyrie is clutch because he did it multiple times. But now he has to do something that he never did, which is become a playmaker and a ball handler and a decision maker. Yes, he always was a scorer. Yes, he is unguardable, but now he has to find a way to uplift his teammates, to get the best out of his teammates, and try to find a way to win games and close out games. And I feel like Marcus Smart is a good defensive player. Jaylen Brown showed that last game too, that he's a solid defender and he got active hands. But Kyrie he has to be a leader now more than ever. And since he never led a team to the playoffs as the guy, he has a lot more pressure on him now, since Gordon Hayward is injured, and he most likely be gone for the rest of the season. So it does hurt Celtics fans, because we were so excited for this season. We wanted to see our team play. We wanted to see how great and how dominant this team could be. And now we done lost our marquee free agent already in the first 5 minutes. But the players that's going to have to step up besides Kyrie is Al Horford. He's going to have to score the basketball more. The man is making over $27 million. He making $27 million a year. He's getting paid more than Kyrie. He's the second highest paid player on the roster besides Gordon Hayward. and he hasn't been dominant. He hasn't been an offensive force. He's been a team player. He's been a team rebounder. He's been a team player, but he hasn't been dominant. They need Al Horford to be a factor in the pick and roll. They need him to be a bigger factor on the boards, and they need a contribution of him knocking down shots, creating shots, and trying to find ways to score the basketball to help out Kyrie, who has to find a way to keep him involved. But Al Horford has to take it to another level in general. I feel like even in the playoffs, Al Horford was mediocre. He played better in the Wizards series than he did in the first series, and they're going to need him to play like that for 81 games because he didn't play like that last game, but he's going to have to play more dominant and more crazy for this team to win, especially since they don't have as much star power with Gordon Hayward gone. Jaylen Brown, he showed his potential. He's going to have to be consistent every game, scoring the basketball, getting out in transition, getting stops, and he's going to have to rebound better than he did before to help in the void of Gordon Hayward. He can grab about 5 to 6 boards, but Jaylen Brown going to have to grab more to help Al Horford, and Boston always been a bad rebounding team in general, and Jaylen Brown has to help out on that because he is 6'7" and athletic. Marcus Morris is going to be a big factor because it's going to allow a player like Jason Tatum to go back to the 3 and become just more of a scorer than being the 4 that has the mismatch, and he has to guard bigger and stronger players. Since Gordon Hayward is injured now, they have to find a player that can score and contribute, and that's going to be something that Jason Tatum might have to do. Is once Marcus Morris come back and start at the 4, Jason Tatum might slide back to the 3 and be a scorer, which we know he can do, and he can score in isolation. He's not the playmaker that Gordon Hayward is. He's not the marksman that Gordon Hayward is, and he's really not the player that Gordon Hayward is in general, especially when it comes to ball handling and playmaking for his teammates. He's not that guy, but he can come in and get you 15 to 16, maybe 20 points a couple games, and that can be a huge impact. He's basically the X factor of the team because either he's going to come off the bench or he's going to be a rookie that's starting, and he has to fill the void of Gordon Hayward, which means he's going to get more minutes, more touches, and he's going to have more chemistry with his teammates because he's going to be playing with him more since Gordon Hayward is out. But we're going to need Jason Tatum to score more than 14 to 15 points. Sometimes he's going to have to go for 30. Sometimes he's going to have to go for 20. He's going to have to be a great knockdown three-point shooter. He's going to have to be able to knock down those mid-range shots, and hopefully he can continue to score in isolation like Carmelo with the post-ups, the fadeaways, and the pull-up, face-up jumpers. They're going to need a lot of that if they want to compete with the best teams in the league. That's not even including the East. That's just in general. Marcus Smart is a guy that struggles to score the basketball, but he brings a lot of tenacity and energy on the defensive end. But he's going to have to be a better scorer too, because they're going to have to find a way, like I said, to replace what they just lost. Even though he does bring active hands and mobility, and he has a big body for a guard, he's going to have to be able to score. And not just throw a bunch of bullshit. He's going to have to be able to score consistently for this team. They're going to need his offense, not just his defense. They're going to need him to be a two-way player, and they're going to need him to be more efficient. I know that's a lot to ask because he's never been that player. He's never been efficient, and he's never been a dominant offensive player. But he's going to have to make plays, whether it's making assists or scoring the basketball. He's going to have to step up off that bench and be a 6 or 7 man that makes a big impact on the game like he did in the playoffs when they beat the Cavaliers that one game. And he made a little impact this game, but he's going to have to do that throughout the whole season, not just one game. So those are the players I think that has to step up. The sleeper person that I think going to step up is Terry Rozier, because he can score the basketball and he can play make. And he can shoot the ball solid, not amazing, not a crazy shooter, but he's a guy that plays under control. He's a guy that paces himself. He runs the offense. He can attack if he wants to. He can get hot and get you 9 to 10 to 12 points off the bench. And like I said, he is a ball handler and a playmaker, and he's a capable shooter. And they're going to need him to consistently be the guy that comes off that bench with Marcus Smart, making plays and getting buckets. and then they're gonna need Terry Rozier to step up, and he is the backup point guard, but he has to be a bigger factor. He needs to play like he plays in summer league, but he just gonna have to do it in a regular season. So let me know what you guys think. Who should step up? Who's the X factor? Who needs to do more? Do they need to make a trade? Can they still make the playoffs? If they do, can they be a top 4 seed in the East without Gordon Hayward? Can they still compete with the other teams in the West? In the East that's top heavy, can they actually stay positive after losing their second best player, their most highest paid player? Can Kyrie lead the team? Can he dominate offensively? Can he carry the team, which is playmaking and scoring, to victories? And that's something that he's never done. So we got a bunch of people that want to prove themselves on a roster, and now they actually have to do it to make the playoffs without their second best player and their highest paid player. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description in the comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. It'll be in the description in the comment section below. Click the link, it'll send you to my website. Click the link, it'll send you to my Facebook page. If you go to the website, sign up to become a user. And if you go to my Facebook page, like to show support. Quinn Wade, Basketball Analysis, I'm gone. And let me know what you think about Gordon Hayward being injured in the Boston Celtics. How good can they be without him?